Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another live. Welcome back to the Practical Life. Hopefully, you all can hear me. Good afternoon. It's afternoon where I am. I hope everything is going well. Happy Tuesday. I meant to get to you all yesterday. I meant to do a live yesterday, but I got caught up. But nevertheless, we are here today. Again, welcome back to the Practical Life. My name is Ashley Nicole, and this channel is all about mental health. This is where you can get your questions answered for yourself or someone else, or if you're trying to get yourself to the next level when it comes to your career, if you need a resume critique, or more specifically, if you or someone you know is trying to learn how to manage their mental health in the workplace, I am the person for you. All of my information will be in the description box, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the live today. Now, before we do that, I have to take a moment to celebrate just a tiny bit, not even a tiny bit, but a lot. And I'm going to let me thank you all. We have hit over 100 subscribers, and I am so grateful for all of you who have subscribed to this channel. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being interested in what I got to say and just coming back here time after time to hear my opinion. You are all, appreciated. I'm grateful for all of you, and we are going to continue to grow. I have more in store for this channel, and in just kind of incorporating my audience and my subscribers. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Again, I appreciate all of you, and just keep on watching. So again, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, what are we talking about today? Y'all, we talking about Ray J. Y'all, Ray J is funny to me. Now, this story, like, I feel like the way Ray J presented the information, it was funny. But when you really look at it, like look at the situation, look at the players in the situation, like it's really not funny. Like this for real, this is serious, y'all. And so I wanted to get into it. That's why I titled the video, This is Gaslighting. And I'm sure you all have heard that term before, but I'm going to get into it and what it is and how to recognize it and things like that. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about Ray J. Now, I have my coffee here, y'all, because I told y'all before, coffee comforts me. Today is kind of like a little bit gloomy where I am. And so I felt like I wanted some coffee. So I have coffee in this cute little mug here. And I only drink 1 cup of coffee a day. If I really haven't been, well, no, I've been kind of picking it back up. Sometimes if I'm busy, I probably won't drink a cup, but usually you'll see me, I'll have my cup in the morning. So let's talk about Ray J. So Ray J, first of all, is no longer Brandy's brother. Okay. Like literally he is Brandy's brother, but y'all know what I mean. Like this man, he has really made a name for himself. Uh Ray J got his own tech company. He is really doing it. And he is very successful at what he does. And so we don't people it appears that people no longer just look at him as being Brandy's brother, right? He is a celebrity himself, and if I'm looking down, y'all already know I got my notes, and I actually don't have I usually have my computer like my laptop like propped up, and I don't have it propped up today for some reason. I must have forgot, but if you see me looking down, that's what it is. But he is a celebrity himself. Um, he has his own money. He has made his own money. Ray J is out here making deals. Ray J is flying here, there, and everywhere. Okay. And so again, he is no longer Brandy's brother. He is Ray J. Okay. Um, and this probably, all this information that he's put out there, people probably wouldn't have really like, I don't know. I'm kind of, it's kind of twofold for me on that. Like a few years ago, or maybe 5, 10 years ago, people probably would have seen this story and maybe it would have got some traction, I feel like, but then maybe not because Ray J was not in a position that he is now, right? But people listening now because Ray J again has made a name for himself, in Hollywood and all this stuff. He's made his own money. His tech brand is well known. People know about it. And he has done well. So now people listening. And not only because of that, I think people are also listening because of the culture that we're in right now. When we're talking about people trying to gaslight, people trying to manipulate, people trying to change the narrative and things like that. So I think that's another reason why, especially social media, are kind of paying attention to the story and really listening to what he's saying. And to be honest, like, well, I'll get into that. But this video, anything that I talk about in this video is based on my opinion, and also my experience and my expertise in the mental health field. All information and images used is fair use. And some things that I might say is maybe alleged, but all of this is just based on my opinion and some fact based on what Ray J showed us. But just want to make sure that I get that out there. But back to why people pretty much really care now is because, again, we have a culture of talking about manipulation, talking about people gaslighting others, people being narcissists and things like that. People are being a little bit more aware when it comes to social media about those things. So I think that's why people are listening. And then on top of that, this, like the Kardashian family, they always got their name in something that don't seem, in my opinion, quite right. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, dang, what they done did now? Like even though people knew of this, what happened between Ray J and Kim or whatever, it's like, of course, the social media and other people are not going to know the details, right? But we didn't got some details, right? And so it's like, okay, we knew something wasn't right. So it appears that some gaslighting is going on, and I'll let you guys, I'll talk about why in a minute. So what is gaslighting? So I'm just going to, because sometimes when you hear this jargon, these mental health terms, the this medical jargon, it's kind of like, okay, really, what is it? Like, put it in layman's terms, you know what I mean? And so it's really just a pattern of manipulation. When somebody is trying to gain control or gain power over a situation, they're going to try to manipulate you. They're going to project their feelings on you. They're going to try to finagle the situation because they want to gain control. And in them trying to do that, it's almost like they trying to make you feel like, well, dog, they might be right. Well, you know what? They right. Let me go ahead and go ahead and do what they said we should do. Because that will, now that I think about it, will make it better. When your gut telling you, nah, like y'all trying to finagle the situation. No, like it's originally what I said. Like I really do feel like that. Like this is what's really happening. But they trying to make you confused. And then you might get confused in the situation. So it's kind of like that's basically what it is. Someone is trying to gain power and control by trying to confuse you, by trying to manipulate you, by trying to change the narrative of the story, right? So that's just really what it is, y'all. So now, how do they do that? Okay, so sometimes they may be in from what Ray J said in this story, blatantly lying, right? Lying, denying, again, causing confusion, projecting. You might feel confused. You might feel anxious about what they saying. And I'm not going to say that Ray J was anxious while he was on the live, but it appeared that, and not even that he was confused, but there may have been some anxiety there because in this whole process, right, of what he was trying to do, show everybody like the text, the DMs, the contracts and things like that. People were calling him and he's like, oh, they calling me. They trying to get me to agree to do something else. And right in that instance, like he leaked his own number. So it's kind of like he caught up in all of this and he trying to figure out what he's saying and making sure he tell everything whatever, and they calling him. They keep calling him. They keep calling him. They keep calling him, trying to talk him basically probably out of the situation. That's what it appeared to be when you on live and you telling somebody, oh, I'm getting ready to tell y'all the facts. Forget it now. I'm getting ready to tell everything. Y'all broke the contract. Okay, so we breaking the contract. let's you gonna tell it, let's tell it all. So in the midst of doing that, they're calling him, probably it appeared to set to appear to say like, okay, let's talk about this. Okay, it really wasn't like this. This is what we were trying to do and all this stuff, right? So that he can calm down a little bit, so that he won't show anymore, right? And so in the midst of all of that, he trying to control the situation and manage what he doing, and the man leaked his number by accident. but then, like, let me just add this, because then I saw him, he did like a reel or something, and he was like, y'all, Ray J is so funny. He like, y'all didn't leak my number. But go ahead. he said, he said, but go ahead, for the people that's been calling me, y'all leave a voicemail. Go ahead and leave me your email. So I can go ahead and put you on the mailing list. I said, now, Ray J, you trying to get these people email for that tech company. I said, look at Ray J, baby, he is finessing, okay? But they, like, I feel like, okay, why you keep calling this man? Like, why y'all calling him? The only reason why you could be calling him is to try to change the narrative and try to get him to see your side of the story. I mean, he was there. He know what happened. The man got the contracts and all of that, right? So yeah, so yes, I mentioned that, he may have felt a little bit anxious about it, because also on top of that, he was saying that his friends and different people were telling him like, wait a minute, like, don't do this for real. Like, don't do it right now. Like, basically try to make some coin off of it, right? And he like, nah, forget the coin. And this is what I'm going to get into, right? Because like I mentioned before, a whole bunch of these stories that we know about, people quick to do something for their money. Like, it's like they can't see past it. But and then too, it's like you can see both sides. Because on one side, you like, you know what? He might as well make some money off of it, because guess what? They trying to make the money. But two wrongs also don't make a right. You know what I'm saying? Two wrongs don't make it right. So, but then too, you expect this man to sit back and let you say, change the narrative, do whatever you want to do when it comes to the situation, and try to paint the situation out in a certain way. And you expect him to sit back and not say anything when, like Ray J said, I got children too. So let's get into it. The future of the family. In one of those texts or DMs or whatever, Kim was talking about, oh, my nephew, I gotta sit and explain to him. Let me pull it up, because baby Ray J, he put them DMs out and said, y'all better get it. Y'all better get the um the DMs. So let's see. So I hope y'all can see this. Shoot, I hope I can see it. Okay. Right. So in this first one, if y'all see in here, Kim was saying, oh, I hear you. She's mortified. Her kids have to see it, and her nephew having to explain it to him. What nephew she's talking about? Is it Mason? Because is Mason the oldest one, like one of the older kids? And she like, oh, we in the same boat. Nah, y'all ain't in no same boat. Y'all ain't in the same boat, Kim. Why? Because first of all, this man ain't, according to Ray J, he didn't stay out of it. He ain't really said nothing about it, right? So your mom, it appears that her mom, Chris, brought it back up by taking this uh apparently or allegedly fugazi lie detector test or whatever. So he said Ray J was like, I was staying out of it. I was playing my part. Then now y'all coming with this mess, right? So how is we in the same boat? Then again, now she like, oh, I don't want to explain it to my nephew. Well, guess what, Kim? Guess what? You should have thought about that. You should have thought about a whole bunch of stuff. You weren't thinking before you was doing. I don't know if you got caught up in the Hollywood life. It appears so, right? Because we were, where do we remember Kim from originally? Hanging out with who? Who was the first person she was hanging? We saw her hanging out with Paris Hilton. So you weren't in a part of the Hollywood life, and it appears to me, it seems like you were trying to get it by any means necessary, and the mama too. Yeah, go ahead and do the tape. And based on what Ray J said, like this really plays into the mental, y'all. Based on what Ray J said, the mom allegedly was saying, "No, y'all got to do this, do the tape again because she looking a certain way. She needs to look a certain way." Girl, what? What? Like people been saying this about her, but it's like your mom, like when it comes to your nephews, your nieces, your own kids, you got bigger fish to fry when they grow up, other than Ray J doing something. Like how they getting ready to view their family, right? How they getting ready to view you? How they getting ready to view their grandmother? Come on now. But see, this is where you've got to always make decisions based on your morals, your values, and your integrity. And so now, so when you talk about kids and raising kids and stuff like that, right? Now people do look at things differently. Excuse me, look at things differently once they have children. Like you probably didn't think about it before. She probably didn't think about none of that, especially too because they were young, right? Right? But now that you got kids, you want to backtrack on everything. You can't do it. You're gonna have to at one point, it might not be now. Now you didn't had to sit Mason down if Mason is what she's talking about as far as her nephew, you didn't had to sit him down and explain, hopefully, and told the truth about what really happened, like what it was. Now, but she also said that how did Mason see this? Because he was on Roblox. I don't know nothing about Roblox. My kids don't play that stuff. I think it's like some kind of game. And he saw like an ad or something come up. But according to Ray J said the Roblox CEO, Ray J did some digging, baby. The Roblox CEO said that wouldn't even come up on there because it's like for kids, I guess. So it's like censored the ads or whatever. So he wouldn't even been able to see that. So if that is the case, I don't know. But if that's the case, how did he even see it? But nevertheless, if it wasn't now that you had to sit him down to explain it to him, it was going to be later because you're going to have to explain it to all of your kids, along with everything that happened between you and their daddy. And that is a whole nother story because after I saw Kanye's documentary on Netflix, like like me, I already had my own opinion about that. I understand that Kanye is um trying to manage allegedly his diagnosis, right, of bipolar disorder, right? And I don't even know, this is just all allegedly in my opinion. I don't even know specifically what his diagnosis is, but it hasn't been put out there that he has bipolar disorder. I don't know that to be true because I haven't seen any paperwork to say that, right? But if it is, right, I understand that he's managing that. However, a lot of times people put this stigma on people who have been uh diagnosed with a mental health disorder, and they always, the majority of time, are thinking that they don't know what they're talking about, or if they say something that doesn't go along with societal thinking or the majority, right, then they're manic, or they're having an episode, or they need to be hospitalized, or they need to be evaluated, or they're not taking their medication. And in my opinion, a lot of times that might not be true, because I feel like some of the stuff Kanye done said, I'm like, Kanye right. Now, it's a lot of stuff he done said too, where I'm like, now Kanye, now now that ain't right. But in my opinion, Kanye has not been the same since his mom passed. And if you watch that documentary, his mom was so instrumental in his life. Like, you would get a better understanding of his behavior now based on watching that documentary. Like, you would just understand a little bit more, right? I feel like, in my opinion, Kanye don't have his people. Like, he don't have, like for example, Kim them, they got their mom, even though they be doing some crazy stuff, outlandish things, and how they get their money, allegedly, or all this stuff, right? But they still had a mom close to them. They have people, family that ride for them no matter what. You see what I'm saying? And I just feel like Kanye don't have that. He don't have that. And based on, and I feel like he wanted to start the family because he was yearning for that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like him trying to fight for his family and wanting to live across the street from his kids and stuff like that. That's him trying to keep his family together. And it's like some of the things he says and does is the only way he knows how. But sometimes too, a lot of times Kanye goes about it in the wrong way. But I think deep down he does have good intentions, but that's my rant. Okay, but again, this is why you have to do things based on your morals, your values, and your integrity, making decisions based on that, even if you are young, because you never know when this stuff is going to come back, especially something like that. Especially something like that. So, this is one of them situations where you made a mistake. And now you got to own up to it and you got to take accountability instead of trying to change the narrative, instead of trying to take control of the situation. Because if you notice in those text messages, she was telling Ray J, oh, I could, basically don't, to sum it up, don't worry about it. I'm getting ready to talk to my team now. And if you're okay with it, we can get it taken off the internet. We can get it taken off, and but you can do that, Kim. You can get it taken off, but guess what? It's still out there. Because why? It's the internet, Kim. People didn't took screenshots of that. So what you take it out? What is that gonna do? What is it gonna do? Maybe I'm missing something. Um, but just like you told Ray J, oh, I got kids, I'm mortified. This man got kids too. And he don't want his kids seeing no mess like that either. So it appears to me that you only thinking about yourself and your kids, just like it appears that your whole family always does, right? Y'all only look out for self. right? And instead of thinking of the whole picture. Because again, this man has kids too. He don't want his kids growing up. And then he's not the only person that they're gonna come to. They got an auntie that's a celebrity, their mom, right? What do you tell your kids when your kids come to you then and seeing something online or something about your dad, about their dad, or about their one of their family members? You gotta sit down and be prepared, right? So when y'all sat down and was preparing the deliverables, allegedly take one, take two, take three, allegedly, when y'all was sitting down preparing that, y'all should have also been sitting down preparing a script on what you was gonna tell all these kids in that family when they got old enough to potentially see something like that. It don't even have to be them seeing it. They could have friends at school that talk about it that might ask them something, or if one of their classmates, ain't feeling them or whatever, they don't want to be their friend. Kids say a lot of stuff. Kids say some crazy stuff and they don't bite their tongue. Ain't no telling what one of them kids gonna say to them. So you're gonna have to help them through that as well. And to be honest, you know, just like some adults, right? It's like some people can dish it out, but they can't take it. And when it comes to emotions and, how you cope with things and manage things, everybody is different. So it's a lot of kids in that family. It's a lot of nieces, it's a lot of nephews, right? She has what, 4 kids. So maybe the majority of them might, sit down, talk to mom, talk to dad, or whatever, and they like, okay, this is just what it is. But one or two of them may not be able to handle it, right? Can you imagine the constant DMs them kids might get about the situation, about their family, how their family is being viewed, and not even only on Kim's side, but on Ray J's side too. The DMs that his kids might get in the future, or the business deals that might be turned down because of the situation. Like this not only affects Kim and Ray J, this affects the next generation, the next, because people don't forget and it's forever ingrained on the interwebs. So that's why all people gotta understand, you gotta always make decisions based on good morals, values, and your integrity, right? Now and so what Ray J was saying was, I wasn't thinking. He said, uh oh, because his friends were telling him, oh, well, you should wait to try to make a coin. He like, it is not about the coin. You know what I'm saying? Because I got money. Like, I got money. So it's not about the coin. But he's like, this is a lesson learned that he was messing with clowns. Like he didn't know that they were these kind of people. You know what I'm saying? And he was like really questioning, like, why are y'all doing this? For what? Y'all got money, y'all, like, why are y'all doing this? But he was mentioning things like, you know, I made it. I have money. I have a company. Like it's a lot of people that y'all did took down. It's a lot of dudes y'all took down where they not able to be in the position that I'm in, and things like that. All because it appears that it's the power and the control, right? I'm like, that's crazy. Because really, I mean, look at Kanye. Now, Kanye may have had his issues, but until he got with Kim, in my opinion, it's like, okay, that's when you start seeing Kanye in the hospital, seeing him having to be evaluated and all this stuff. Like what is really going on? Come on now. Um, Right. So again, he like, oh, he was messing with clowns and all this stuff. So, I feel like based on Ray J's lives, like he basically fed up He tried to stay quiet, but he like, nah, this is it. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm gonna air it all out. And then one of the texts, like it was crazy because Kim kept saying, "Oh, I understand. Like, we could talk about this. I want to make sure you're comfortable with, whatever decision we make and all this stuff." But then on one of the texts, baby, she came back and said, you can do whatever the F you want to do. I'm not gonna let you threaten me. What? What? Like, I thought that the mom started all this back up. Like, this is crazy, y'all. But I think again, like basically the moral of the story is that you have to act with integrity no matter what. And Ray J did say that, we was waiting on the money because we was trying to go get this car. We was telling the people at the dealership, hold, like basically, hold it for me. Cause I'm getting, as soon as I get my little check, I'm coming right back up here to get it, right? He like, they was trying to get their cars and do what they need to do with their money, right? And so that's basically, that's why they was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do it. Right? But now that you think back on it, because they grown, right? Now that you think back on it, it's like, what the heck did I do? What in the world was I thinking? Who, and then, people, they stop taking accountability and start asking, who in the world let me do this? Who talked me into doing this? Like when he said allegedly that Chris was like, oh no, y'all got to do this one again. I said, what? Your mom? That is, if that's true, that is disgusting. Like for real. You, and this is another grandmother. Like I don't know. I don't get it. So you also have to think about the future of your family. The decisions that you make now are going to affect your family later on, right? Just like with anything else, when you're trying to build wealth for your family, when you're trying to instill morals, values, things like education, things like that. What you do now will affect your family for generations to come. And nobody thinks about that in the moment. But I feel like we got to stop thinking about, really instant gratification, basically. Instant gratification, and start thinking about, okay, if what I do now is what I'm doing now, what I'm signing off on now, what decisions I'm making now, who is it going to affect and how long is it going to affect them? And it may seem like, y'all, this might seem like something that's, like, oh no, I shouldn't think about that. They was young or whatever. But you got to think about it. Because now you're in a situation like this. Now everybody in your business, everybody know the details of what you agreed to. Now your kids are looking at you sideways because that North, it looked like she gonna be something else. That North, baby, mm-mm. It looked like North gonna have all the questions. And North looked like she the one that gonna be trying to clap back and all this stuff. But I'm telling you, I've seen it time and time again with working with families. Like some kids, kids deal with it in different ways. And kids are resilient, you know what I mean? But as we all know, when you get older, the way that you deal with life, the way that you make decisions, the way that you cope with things is based on what you saw, felt, heard, experienced in your childhood. So the world is waiting to see, like, how these kids getting ready to grow up, how they getting ready to be when they adults. Because this is ridiculous. And this happened 20 years ago. Like y'all still talking about this? Y'all, this still ain't wrapped up. This still ain't put to rest after 20 years. We still can't come to an agreement. I don't know, y'all. Like this is a mess. But like I said, nevertheless, Ray J, baby, he put on a show. Okay. Ray J put on a show. But it does seem like this man is concerned about his children and having to sit down and explain to his children, what happened, what he did, what decisions he made. And he wants his kids to see him in a great light, just like she wants her kids to see her in a great light as well, and her nephews and her nieces, him too. Him too. So, but you can't go around just making up stuff for the benefit of you. Like those texts of her saying, "Oh, I want to make sure you're comfortable," and this, and that. You should have sent them before y'all did all of the lie detector test and decided to put it on the show and all this stuff. Y'all probably heard, if y'all heard thunder in the background, it is clowning outside. Okay. Um, I live in Florida, y'all, so this is hurricane season. During hurricane season, it rains all the time. It's like the rainy season, basically. Um, so yeah, so this was to me, it was not surprising. Information he was giving, it was not surprising. It's just the manner in which Ray J came, like he was turned up. Like, oh, okay, we breaking contracts. Oh, okay, all right. We doing it like that. All right, we're gonna put out information. We're gonna say this. All right, let me put out my information. And you know how some people say, if one person acts a certain way, and then somebody else comes, you like, oh, they didn't met they match. I don't know, they might have met they match. Like in the beginning when they did the tape and all this stuff, maybe they didn't see Ray J as like a threat or their family as a threat. And then on top of that, allegedly, like I don't even know if that's alleged. Like they took some money, or Kim took some money from the family when she was working for them and stuff like that. Like they bold, they real bold with it. Like maybe then you didn't see Ray J as a threat, but Ray J got a little money now. So he able to maneuver around a little bit. Y'all might have met y'all match. Y'all might have met y'all match. And you ain't think it was gonna be Ray J. Because really, to be honest with anybody in general, you can't keep going around doing people like that. Like I just feel like when you have those type of, when you don't have integrity, when you don't have morals and values, and you don't act in that way, like you everything always not gonna be right. Like it's always gonna be something that's not right. If it's not with you, it's people. It's if it don't affect you, it's gonna affect people that are close to you. You know what I mean? So if you continue to act in this way, like it's you're gonna continue to see like, dang, why is this happening? Now, mind you, they do have money to circumvent things and to maneuver and all that stuff. But again, money ain't everything, and all that glitter ain't gold. And your character is way more than some, because they could not have that tomorrow. I mean, they could not have that tomorrow. you know? So, or, if they do, it could be things like just other stuff within the family, turmoil, and just dealing with different stuff, negative things that you got to deal with because you don't have good character. It don't just affect you. It affect it'll affect your kids. It'll affect other family members and things like that. So they might have met their match with Ray J, because Ray J, he ready to air it all out. It don't seem like he has any fear about that, like, oh, I'm going up against this family with all this money and power, because they do have power, right? Power, and them trying to control things. I'm just really by myself for real. I mean, I'm sure he has his family supporting him and stuff like that, right? But in the grand scheme of things, it's like I'm going up against them. Like, it don't seem like he's scared no more because he didn't put it out to the world, baby. He didn't leak his number accidentally trying to get this stuff out and all of that. So they might have met their match. But I hope that they come to some kind of agreement. I hope that Ray J doesn't fall into the trap of letting them change the narrative and continue to try to gaslight him, because some people, they will. Her coming and saying, oh, I want to make sure you're comfortable with what we decide. And, we could talk to my team right now. Oh, I didn't know that it would appear that way when the people saw you on that little commercial or whatever, the real thing, crying and all this stuff. Well, what did you think people were going to think? You know what I'm saying? People were going to think that he did those things to you, and he like, what? And on top of that, he like, this does affect his business because he has women on the board. Like, that stuff matters. And these women with the Me Too movement and stuff like that, they ain't going for that. You did what? She said you did what? You got some explaining to do. And depending on if you have a board of directors, or if you have a board of directors, baby, they can get you up out that business that you say yours. Depends. Directors are different from advisors, right? So if you got a board of directors, they have a legal, oh, it's really thunder. They have a legal standing, with the business where they can do things like that and vote you out and all this stuff. So you come and saying that, especially if it's not true, you messing with that man's business, which not only affects him, it affects his family, it affects his kids, it affects his kids' kids. So I'm with Ray J. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. He gotta protect the family. He gotta protect the future of the family. So just like what Chris trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that he doesn't let friends, because friends will come and say, oh, well, don't do it right. You know what? Just leave it alone. It ain't worth it and all this stuff, because they'll say, oh, because it was 20 years ago and this is this. I hope he doesn't let that steer him in a different direction, and that he fights for his family too. So that's all I got, y'all. I just wanted to come and talk about that, and just kind of give my opinion on it, talk a little bit about gaslighting, what it is and how to recognize it. I hope this was valuable to you. Again, I'm going to play my little graphic here. Thank you all for subscribing. Like I said, we are over 100 subscribers. This is something that I'm so proud of myself, y'all. I have to say, I have been consistent in meeting my goals with YouTube, all because of you guys watching and listening. And I'm just so grateful. I have really found something that I really, really like and enjoy doing. And it's really kind of coupled with my other passion, of mental health, and really breaking the stigma, and just talking about mental health and making sure that it's not taboo. It's not a taboo topic, and that we can talk about it. And in the midst of that, just having the purpose of helping people, with that particular topic. So I thank you all again. I'm grateful for all of you. If you are watching, thank you so much for watching this live. Leave me a comment in a replay or in the chat to let me know what topics you want me to talk about, or anything that you kind of want me to address. If you have any questions or anything like that. If you haven't subscribed and you feel so inclined to, hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting on? I have a lot in store for this channel. And thank you again. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Hopefully where you are is sunny. Here is a little gloomy, but it's going to be a great day nevertheless. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.